Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Last week, sadly, Queen Elizabeth II passed away after a 70-year reign, becoming our first monarch to reach a platinum jubilee. After 70 years on the throne, her lifetime has been documented on our coins, so today I thought we would pay our respects and have a look at some of the milestone coins released throughout her reign. The story begins on the 6th of February 1952. King George VI, father of Queen Elizabeth II, died, and with immediate effect the 25-year-old princess became queen. Her first coinage was minted for the following year in 1953 and featured a new portrait designed by Mary Gillick. The Queen had sat for the portrait the year before, and Mary Gillick was keen to capture more than just a charming profile of the new monarch, and used her time with the Queen to talk with her. When news of the design was released, the choice of a female artist seemed fitting, and the public and press were enamoured with the new design, with Mary Gillick being thrust into the limelight with her image and the image she created publicised across the nation and abroad. The portrait she created would see use throughout the reign of the Queen, whose Maundy money continued to use this portrait all the way up to the 2022 coins. This set is a specimen Coronation collection. It features the farthing through to the crown and was released to mark the Queen's coronation in 1953, where she was formally crowned Queen. The crown, worth 5 shillings, was designed for this occasion by the painter Edgar Fuller and modelled by Cecil Thomas. The pair would also create the 6pence and 2 shilling coins as well. Cecil Thomas too would go on to design a portrait of the Queen for use abroad as well. The Queen's husband, Prince Philip, chaired the Coronation Committee and was instrumental in getting television cameras into the ceremony for the first time ever, allowing millions to watch from home. The coronation of the Queen's father, George VI, was televised, but from outside of the cathedral. The Queen's coinage would see a huge change in 1971, when the country moved to the decimal system we know today. This involved the removal of certain coins, resizing of others, and the introduction of brand new denominations to replace the pounds, shillings and pence. With the changing currency system, so too the Queen's portrait would change for the first time. The work submitted by Arnold Machin was chosen out of a field of sculptors, with the new portrait beginning to circulate from 1968. The success of this new design brought Machin's name to the attention of the Stamp Advisory Committee, and his portrait of the Queen became the new definitive series on stamps as well. The Queen was particularly fond of this design, and despite a number of suggestions that the series should be replaced, she either refused or simply expressed her desire to continue with the use of them rather than create a new definitive stamp. The Queen sat for him on 4 occasions whilst modelling the design in clay. Prince Philip had involvement too, making suggestions to the design, which once he'd left, Machin scrapped, returning to his own vision. 1977 sees the first milestone achievement in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II with her Silver Jubilee. This coin saw the return of Arnold Machin to create a non-circulating commemorative coin to mark this occasion, a 25p crown. It is said that this is the only coin the Queen has sent back to the Royal Mint for corrections, as the original design depicted her sat incorrectly on her horse. The Mint obliged, and the design was altered to better reflect her riding style. This was also the design that inspired the alternate obverse on the Platinum Jubilee 50p coin, the first coin of this denomination to mark a royal event. This obverse was created by John Bergdahl, proving popular at the release in February, and now seeing a huge amount of interest, with even the circulating coins selling for upwards of £5 a piece. It is hard to predict the onward trajectory of a coin's value, whether it will settle back down or retain that level of value though. In 1985, Raphael Maklouf's portrait of the Queen was chosen to update her effigy on coins. He mainly worked from photographs, but the Queen did sit for him twice once he'd been chosen, so that he could make final alterations to the design. He was none too pleased with the photos provided to create his initial concept, which he remarked to the Queen whilst attending a garden party. The Queen promised to pass his frustrations on. The Queen again sat for this portrait and was surprised at how quickly Maklouf modelled the portrait in clay. Being used to sitting for photographs and drawings for some time, this must have been a welcome relief for the Queen. The Queen's portrait would change once again in 1998, this time the work of Rank-Broadley, who created the Queen's penultimate portrait for Coinage. Where the previous portrait had been more than a little flattering, his portrait sees a more realistic portrayal of the Queen, but he remarked that aging happened to everyone, whether royal or not, and that the Queen did not require flattery in his vision to create a recognisable effigy for the time. 2002 saw another milestone Jubilee, with now 50 years on the throne, marked with the Golden Jubilee. A £5 crown was released in this year, designed by Rank-Broadley, keeping the theme of the Queen on horseback following the Coronation and Silver Jubilee crowns. Also in this year, the sovereign featured a one-off design, which was the creation of Timothy Node. The denomination would usually feature Benedetto Pestrucci's iconic George and the Dragon design, but for a handful of significant occasions, a one-off design has been used instead, making them standout pieces in the long run of the sovereign. 2012 was a very eventful year, with not just the London Olympic Games, but also the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. Only the second monarch to celebrate such a milestone, Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee came 115 years after Queen Victoria celebrated hers towards the end of her reign. This £5 crown was issued, featuring Mary Gillick's first portrait on the reverse, paired with a new portrait by Rank-Broadley once again. The comparison from a 25-year-old queen, only just assuming her obligation to the crown, to the now 85-year-old mature and experienced monarch creates a visual representation of her 60 years in service. 3 years later, the portrait of the Queen would be changed one final time, this time the work of the Royal Mint's own Jody, the first time in over 100 years that a Royal Mint insider secured the portrait of a monarch on coins. He is also the youngest creator of any of the 5 portraits as well. This is the portrait which would see out the end of the reign of the Queen, being used up to this year and will continue to be used in the releases of the final commemorative coins due out in 2022 before the portrait changes to the new King's. This year, the final year of the Queen's reign, we celebrated her Platinum Jubilee, the first UK monarch to achieve such a long reign, and who knows when the next Platinum Jubilee will be, if ever. We've already looked at the 50p coin already, but this is the £5 crown designed again by John Bergdahl, featuring an ornate royal arms design, with inspiration taken from historic coinage, with the arms surrounded by a royal mantle, similar to one she wore for her coronation. On the obverse again, we see the Queen on horseback, similar to the Silver Jubilee, but with a garter surrounding the image. A poetic end to her reign, with the coins coming full circle from the final Jubilee celebration to the first. There are countless other coins which have been minted over the last 70 years, and this video could easily last another hour or two just going through them, and that's just the UK as well, not counting the many countries that the Queen has appeared on coinage for. Although the Queen may no longer be with us, her image will be forever remembered on the coinage of her long reign. If you would like to know more about any of these particular coins, there are links in the description over to our website. Be sure as well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free to do, it means you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. It's a great time to subscribe because on Friday's video we'll be doing our latest giveaway, having reached 4,000 subscribers, which we are unbelievably grateful for. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of pictures of our coins. We're also on Twitter and TikTok. We've got our shop and online store, but I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.